here. Today I'm going to show you Starry Night. It's a Van Gogh picture. I love it. I want to show you a little bit of Van Gogh's work. So it's Vincent van Gogh. He was a famous painter. I've got a video, I think, where we did the sunflowers. So this is Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers. It's just my board to let you know what to write. So maybe on the back of your work, before you start, you could write Vincent van Gogh. He was Dutch. He's not alive anymore. He was born 1853 and died 1890. So he's not alive anymore, if I'll leave that up there. What I want to show you is some of his pictures, because he drew and painted some beautiful pictures. A lot of them were of fields, beautiful fields. He lived in France for a while, and he wasn't a very happy man. So I'm going to show you some pictures of what he painted, because some of them are just amazing. So this is a nice one. It's the sunflowers. It's probably the most famous one, isn't it, of Vincent van Gogh's, or Gogh. It depends how you pronounce it. This is the last picture he painted before he died, and it looks a bit, it doesn't look that happy, does it? I think it looks a little bit like, oh. So this is the last painting he painted, and this is what he looked like. So this is Vincent van Gogh's face, and he painted his own face. So it's quite nice, isn't it, to do a portrait of your own face one time, paint yourself and see what you look like in your painting. And this is the picture we are going to do today. So I really love that one. You've probably done this one before, but we're going to do it using brush strokes, and we're going to do it almost quite simply. So we're going to do that today. And this one's what I did one time, and I really like it. It's like cafes in France. Just looks really lovely. Got paint all over my hands. So there we are. So finish writing that down if you're writing it, and then we're going to start. So all we need is paper that's landscape, so not upright, and you need a pencil. And we're going to start off with, it's really simple, this picture, but it's in the painting that makes it come to life. So we're going to do, I would say, should we do a line? I don't think we should. Let's do the tree first. Let's do the tree first. So we're going to go up. We're going to do a little flick. Up all the way to the top if you can. Little flick. It doesn't have to be this shape. As long as it starts off quite chunky and goes smaller as you get to the top, because it's this tree. Can you see it? It's very dark. Some people thought it was a building, but it's definitely a tree. So once we've done that, we're going to do the hills. So we're just going to, I'm going to keep this super simple. So we're going to go wobbly line, wobbly line. Then with the wobbly line, float over. So don't press on the paper, then you'll get your other line. So just like that. And then with this line, you want to go just some hills. It's quite cool to do some hills there. There we are. I'm just looking at the picture so we can decide where we're going. Right, I'm going to draw all of this because we're going to paint around it. So here we want to swoosh. Whee! Like that. Curly whirly. This is quite chunky, just like that. Now, don't worry about going over the tree, but what you want to do when you get somewhere is touch, and then when you get to the tree, lift off the paper with your pencil, then go back on, because that helps you decide where things are going to go. From here, we're going to go another swirly whirly. So it sounds funny, but it's just two swirls in the sky, and the rest is going to be different things. These are stars. They're not going to look like this, but we're going to put them in the sky for now like this. So do not worry if they look strange. Now, I'm going to just wait for you to do that, because I did that super fast, didn't I? I think I did that the fastest ever. As I say, this picture to draw is super, super simple. It's just the painting that takes a while. So with the sun, I'm going to do, it's the moon really, isn't it? We're going to do a nice big circle in the top. And then what I'm going to do is do a C shape like that. Just a real big C shape. On your video, it might be tummy with a capital D. Then just join it up, and then you've got like a perfect moon. Looks awesome. Now once you've done all that, we're just going to do some buildings here. So think about, it's a little village where there's like a church, So we need a little steeple of the church. So think about shapes. We're just going to do shapes like that. So just think rectangles, rectangles, roofs, rectangles. It doesn't actually matter. You're just doing things that look like they could be in the village. We're going to do some hills. Can you see that I'm just going very simple? I keep saying simple, but it kind of is, isn't it? Because when we paint it, that's when all the detail comes on. So that is it. That is Starry Starry Night drawn up. Do not panic if you think, oh, that's a bit simple. It's fine. Here, I'd like to do some, maybe some hills there. Right, all you have to do now is get paint. So you need thick paint if possible. So I've got acrylic paint, but before I used to use fabric paint, I used to use poster paint. It doesn't matter too much. It's just practicing. So whatever paint you have at home, or if you're in school, whatever paint you've got at school, you want to just have a red, a yellow and a blue, and you want a black and a white. So you've got your primary colours, red, yellow, blue, and then you need a black and a white. So all we're going to do to start with is we want to do the lightest colour. So just pause this video and then come back to it when you've got all your materials ready. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my brush. Hopefully it's clean. My brush isn't that clean. Do you know what? While you go and get your paint, I'm going to go get my water. So I'm just going to go get it now. Right, so we've got the water and the brushes. Now, I've got a flat-headed brush because I find it easier to make the brush strokes, because he did brush strokes. If you look at this, these are the brush strokes he makes. Can you see? They're brushed and they've stroked around. So you can have a flat brush or just another brush. It's okay, but I like a flat brush. If you haven't got a flat brush, it's okay. I'm just thinking, if you want to try a flat brush, definitely try it. Definitely try it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get yellow. So I'm just going to get my paintbrush, dip it in the yellow, and I'm going to start painting normally. So I'm not doing the brush strokes yet. I'm just painting now. And I'm painting this. Yours is going to look different because you'd have gone over it in pencil, not ink like I have. So I've got that. Don't worry if it drips. I'll probably go round the yellow. So all this can be yellow. And I'm not even doing it carefully, am I? I'm doing it quite messy. So don't worry, it's fine. Now, what else is yellow? Well, all of this back bit's yellow, but it's not just yellow, it's like a green and blue and yellow. Can you see? It's like a bluey, greeny yellow, but we need to do my brush strokes. So what you want to do is dip it in the white. So you've got yellow on your brush, but I've then dipped it on the white. And I'm just going to do like that. I'm just going to, it's like blobs. And then I'm going to pick a bit of blue. And it's like I'm doing it quite fast, aren't I? But by doing more than one colour on your brush, so I'm dipping it in the white now, dipping it in the blue, but I'm not rinsing my brush, dipping it in the yellow. So I'm not rinsing at all, but I keep dipping it. It's going to get quite messy, your palette, but don't worry. And I just keep going over it until I get the colours I like. It might go a bit weird, but that's good. As long as you can see the brush strokes, then it's great. Now, I'm going to do blue now. So I think I'm going to, no, I'm not going to rinse. I'm going to just do blue. So I've got colours on my, I've got yellow and white on my thing. So the blues, look, can you see how many different colours that is? You know, it's brilliant. And I'm just going to keep taking blue. And I'm just blobbing it on. Can you see how I'm blobbing it? I'm not just la la la. So I'm blobbing it on. I'm getting a bit of blue, a bit of yellow now. And I'm just blob, blob, blob. And you don't have to be too careful. Try not to go over your stars if possible. So I'm blobbing, blobbing, blobbing. Can you see how there's different colours in the sky now? I do like the idea of black, but I don't want to use it yet because it can get a little bit too dark. So if I did this slowly, I'd be doing this. Can you see how it creates the brush strokes? But only creates the brush strokes if you change colours, because then you can see it. Can you see that? That's kind of cool. So you're just, if you find it easier to colour it all blue and put the brush strokes at the end, you can. But it's quite fun to practice painting like Van Gogh did, which is like I'm doing, just blah, blah, blah. Kind of brush strokes. So say, for example, I finished my sky. I'm going to let that dry because I want to then go round everything. Now the swirls are slightly different. So the swirls have almost a lot of yellow and white in there. So I'm going to not even rinse my brush out yet. I'm just going to get some yellow. Oh, it's come green, hasn't it? Bit of white. Not going to rinse, remember? And I'm going in the direction of the wind. So this is supposed to be wind. So look, I'm dipping it in the white now. So if it gets too dark, I dip it in the white. If it gets too white, I dip it in the blue. So you've got to make it look like it's going round. If you can't do it like that, doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Just try. Give it a go. So it's like swirls. So just little bits of swirls there. Here, I'm keep dipping it. I'm dipping it in the white. Got it in the yellow as well now. So there's my other swirl. I'm now dipping it in the white. So can you see how I'm not doing it too carefully? I'm not taking too long on it. I'm just adding bits in. And you can add over the top as well once you do it. To make it stand out, I'm going to get a bit more blue on my brush. And I want most of this to be blue. I'm going to put a bit of white in there and some yellow just because I don't want to make it look the same. So now I've gone a bit greeny and that's great. That's what you want. You want different types of colours in the sky. Right, so we're going to go over this once it's dry. So don't worry if you think, oh gosh, I'm not sure if I like that. It's fine. Now, what I'd like to do is all blue here. So I've just dipped it in the blue. I haven't rinsed out yet. I haven't once rinsed out. And you don't need to. If you feel more confident rinsing, then feel free. But you don't actually need to, because the different types of colours you get is phenomenal. Look, it looks awesome. So I'm just going to do blue. I'm not even changing colours now. I'm just doing blue. Oh, we forgot that side, didn't we? I've realised. Right, I'm doing blue down to there. This side, I forgot to do it, didn't I? So I'm dipping it in the white, yellow. Didn't rinse. It's just come out like that. Bit of blue for the brush strokey bits. Okay, guys, so now I realise I've done that super fast, so you're probably thinking, ah, but don't worry. Just take your time, and there's no rush. Now, I've rinsed out now. I don't know if you've heard, I rinsed out. And I'm going to get a water wash of blue. A water wash is blue on my brush, but water, so it's really watery. So I've just dipped it in the water, and I've got blue on my brush, because you still want to be able to see the lines. So it's not thick paint, it's water. So I've just smudged over like that. That's all I've done. Okay, now the best bit, which I quite like, is the tree. I'm just going to do this bit. This bit's like a bluey, isn't it? So this is called blocking it in. So you've blocked in your artwork and then you've got to go over the top with detail. You can do that with oil pastel, chalk. You could do it with paint, which is what we're going to do, but you could do it with chalk, of course, or oil pastel. Right, what I'm going to do is get a black. I love the black. And I'm just going to colour. I'm going to outline it first. And then it's kind of a bit of green as well. But you want to make sure it's dark. So I've dipped it in the blue and the yellow. And I'm going to dip it back in the black. So you want to create these brush strokes still. If you prefer, you can just do the whole tree black, it doesn't matter, but it's quite nice when you sort of do it like this. So there is your black shape. Now if I look at the picture, this bit here, like a bit there that's kind of black. So we could just add that in, just smudging. Right, so what you want to do now is you want to outline the houses. It's quite a lot to do. So what I'm going to do now is I've rinsed out and I'm getting a blue and a yellow because it's quite green down here. So a bit of green there, if you can see it hopefully. I'm going to do a little bit of green in here, just round here, just to make it look kind of cool. Now all the buildings are black, like they've got a black outline, but I'm going to get a new brush because the lights are on because it's night time. So I'm going to get red and yellow, and I want to make it look like there's people at home tonight. You want more yellow, probably a bit of white to stand out. I'm just dotting them anywhere just to make it look like there's people at home. And then I would say this, right, now you've got to get white on your brush. So white, and I'm just gonna go over, just add things. I'm doing the brush strokes. So I'm adding those, I'm going around my stars. So you just want to make it look like it's brush strokes. So you're going to take your time with this because it's quite a big painting. You probably took maybe like more than a year to do it. So don't worry if you're thinking, oh man. You could add the brush strokes on top if you like, but ultimately quite dark there. Now the moon is a bit orangey, so I'm going to get a yellow and a red, and I want to go round. I'm going to rinse out, and I'm just going to smudge. Mine looks different from yours because I've got the ink. I've got the ink pen, but yours is oil. Yours is you drew yours, didn't you, with pencil? So yours should look really awesome at this point. Remember that the swirl is supposed to look like a swirl, so you could go around it if you like with a bit more white. So just have a go. Just take your time. The stars inside is kind of yellow, but you can't see my one because I've got pen. So I might go over it just so you can't see the pen. There we are. So that's roughly Starry Starry Night. And now here we want to outline it with some black really. So I'm going to get, you could let this dry and go over it with oil pastel like I said, or chalk pastel, or even an ink pen, as long as it's dry, because the hills kind of do this. They kind of outline. And then you've kind of got all these buildings outlined in black. It's like a whole, think about a whole village and it's night time. So it's like everything's quite dark, apart from some windows that are on, windows that the lights are on. So I like to just not really draw anything particular, just make it look like you know there's buildings there. Do you know what I mean? Because it is night time, it's quite dark, isn't it? So it's all like raw, dark. The lights are on, but no one's home. Okay, now, if you think, yeah, I don't know, you might want to get, I like the, I think I like white and yellow for the lights because I put a bit of red in there, but you can't really see them very well, can you? But that is Starry Starry Night. Now, if I push it forward, you can probably see it better, can't you? And can you see there? And then if you go down there. So it looks better, or it looks more how we're looking to create. It's looking more like that if we worked into it. So if I wanted to, I could get the black pastel and I could say, right, I want to go over it like that. It has to be dry. That's why I can't do down there because it has to be dry. Or you could get the yellow pastel Oh, it's not dry yet, is it? It's not dry. You could go over the tree, let's say, and put some yellow and some green in there. And you could do it in brush strokes, like how he did, and then smudge a bit. So you've got, if you've got chalk pastels, you can create the most amazing picture. And if you don't have chalk pastels, you could still create the most amazing picture by just going around with some more paint. Or oil pastel, mine's really wet, but can you see I'm following the line? And that's what you need to do, because that's what he did. He followed the movement of the object. So if it's round, then you're going to go round. Like with the stars, if it's round the stars, you're going to go round. Quite like the idea. So it's awesome to start sort of doing more. I'd like the idea of white, and you could just put them in the sky, you know. It's just like there's no end to what you can do with this, because it's so fun to add the brush strokes. So if you're finding the paint hard, use the oil pastel at the end, because that would look kind of cool. Okay guys, there we are. There is your Starry Starry Night, and make sure you can add to it if you want. It's up to you, you don't have to, but I could take all day on this, I reckon. I could really just, you know, continue doing it, because it's one of my favourite paintings actually. So have fun doing that. Let me know how you get on. Send me your pictures, because I love seeing your pictures. Like, subscribe and share, and I shall see you next week. Mwah.